What is up, YouTube? Two things. Part of having autism, I guess, I've noticed I have trouble making proper eye contact. Sometimes I pretty much just stare at the ground and keep to myself. It's just how I do. So I could be holding something in my hand and someone starts talking to me. I'm looking down at the thing. Oh, hey, how you doing, And quite often, that gets misinterpreted. The same can be said for having a lazy eye. Like, I'm trying to focus on the person in front of me, and there's a person next to me. My eye starts drifting. And my gazes get misinterpreted as something else. My gaze or my stare or whatever you want to call it. Misunderstandings make life so much fun, let me tell you. No, they really don't. Misunderstandings suck. And speaking of misunderstandings, a couple days ago, someone hit me up on Facebook Live, and they're just like, oh, did you hear that Gothic D is selling wands? And ever since then, it's been kind of blah. My first initial reaction was, yeah, fucking right. It's probably some troll pretending to be her just to fuck with me and cause more drama. And chances are I'm more than likely right on this issue. Because when the whole Gothic D battle first started, these trolls are laughing hysterically like, holy shit, we got these two goths to start fighting with each other on YouTube? This is fucking great. And I get so many trolls that unfortunately a lot of them will start drama with a bunch of other YouTubers. And then these YouTubers think it's my fault because they're my trolls. And I'm like, well, how the fuck is that fair? I'm not in control of what my trolls do. I'm only in control of what I say on my channel. I'm sitting or laying down in bed awake and thinking about a comment that I received on one of my live videos not too long ago. And the person on the comment said, this pathetic piece of shit needs to leave people alone. And I'm looking at that comment like, what? So when people jump to conclusions or assume shit and get angry because of a misunderstanding, it creates more problems than it's worth. Case in point, if people assume that, my trolls are attacking other people because of me, nah, dude. I mean, think about it. All I did was give Gothic D a shout out on YouTube because she gave me a shout out, right? And then these trolls were trying to hook us up, and I had no intention of trying to hook up with her because, one, I assumed she already had a boyfriend, and two, she's halfway around the fucking world, dude. Come on. And I didn't even know this chick, and as soon as I assumed she had a boyfriend, oh, look at that, I was right. Huh. First rule about dating, always assume she's taken, unless you know otherwise. I shouldn't have to apologize for my trolls, but I'm not going to, because it's not my fault they're dickheads. But, Tuesday, it begins another batch. I don't quite have the sandpaper to finish a full batch of wands, so I'm definitely going to need to get some more of that on Tuesday. And then, of course, people who are on the outside who don't even know it's a troll fucking with me and this other person, you know, and they happen to be a fan of mine, out of curiosity, they'll be like, oh, did you know that Gothic D is selling wands? And I'm like, oh, did you know it's a troll pretending to be Gothic D to fuck with me? You know what I'm saying? People are like, oh, well, you're making a living selling wands. I'm jealous of that. So instead of figuring out their own way to make a living or get their hustle on, they'll attack somebody like me for trying, for being myself. It's pathetic. Like, it's like I said, I have no control over what other people do. There we go. Well, I guess when I'm making a video, my lazy eye isn't that noticeable, but when I'm not making a video, it's doing this number or this number. You know what I'm saying? Ugh. Hair's thickening back up quite nicely. I'm taking a shower here in a couple hours because my hair's starting to get a little greasy. I like to let the grease build up in my hair just a little bit, and I'll massage my scalp just like this. And it stimulates hair growth. Now my hair does look like this when it starts to get a little bit greasy, but not too greasy. Beside the point. Brass assumptions can make things so much worse. Yeah, it's better to get the facts than it is to assume. Yeah. And if you go off making brass assumptions, and then your assumptions are incorrect, and you overreact to your assumption, it's going to make you look like a huge ass. Case in point, if someone pretends to be someone else on social media, and they harass you and bully you, and you overreact to that, and then the person who they're pretending to be sees the video and they're just like, I've never met this person in my life, who the fuck is this asshole? And then they start talking shit about you, and that's all it takes. That's all it takes, is for one troll to pretend to be someone else on YouTube or social media, and then talk a bunch of shit, get you riled up, and then you think it's this one person doing it, when really it's someone else pretending to be someone else. And the sad part is, you know, the lengths in which people will go to to legitimately harass people. It's pretty sad. I might get a lot of crap on social media for just being me. Yeah. Now, it doesn't help things that when they try to pin me against female YouTubers, you know what I'm saying? It doesn't help. You know what I'm saying? Not trying to sound sexist or nothing, but you know, it's not gonna help my image if I overreact to any of it. I mean, it's quite sad when people go to such lengths to create drama and controversy. You know, it really is sad. Believe me, if I could change it, I would. But it's like I said, I'm only in charge of what I do. But it's very apparent when I feel out of place in a situation, and quite often I'll try to leave the situation without being rude. You know, that's just in life in general, not pertaining to anything particular, but yeah. When a lot of people see how badly I get bullied on social media, it makes them go, ew. It makes them sit there and think, I don't want to start a social media channel just because they see the level of harassment that I get. And they're like, yeah, dude. But here's the thing of it, don't let bullying on social media discourage you from having a Facebook or making a YouTube channel. I'm not going to guarantee that you'll get super famous overnight, but I am going to guarantee you'll get some hate at first. Get to about 1,000 subscribers, then you'll start getting hate. And here's the funny part of it. I got all these people trying to ruin my life because they're jealous of me. And I don't let it affect me. I still live my life. You know what I'm saying? While these haters were plotting another way to harass me in some way, shape, or form, I enjoyed my Saturday. Played some Grand Theft Auto, had a glass of wine, made a couple videos. It was an all-around good Saturday, you know. But then I read the comment on one of my live videos, and I thought, nah, I'm not going to respond to it. But then Excuse me. But then, while laying awake in bed, I get to thinking about it, and I'm like, well, this could be why a lot of people don't like me, is because they're assuming that I'm attacking some poor innocent YouTuber, not knowing that a bunch of trolls on her side and a bunch of trolls on my side are getting together and saying, how can we get these two people to fight? So we can create drama, and you know what I'm saying, and they do it because they're bored. They do it because they are bored. Duh. And people ask, well, do you use any gothic makeup or foundation? I'm like, nope. Nope. The only sort of makeup I'll wear is black lipstick and eyeliner, and that's it. That's all I need to rock my goth look. And I don't go black lipstick very often, but more than anything, I'll just throw on some eyeliner and some black nail polish, and you know. And you know what I'm saying? You can't let people get to you, man. Easier said than done. You know. It's mind over matter. You no longer mind because the haters no longer matter. That's the thing about social media, online bullying. Why are you gonna let someone else's opinion get to you? They're a complete anonymous stranger. For all you know, they could be halfway around the world sitting in their mom's basement talking mad shit because they're jealous of something you have. You know what I'm saying? So don't let the assholes get to you, man. It's just not worth it. Sure, you can get pissed off and angry and fire back with some, oh yeah, well fuck you sort of nonsense, but you know, you gotta pick your battles, man, because sometimes what ends up happening is you make a video responding to the hate, and then they make a video responding, and then you make a video, and then they make a video, and it just never stops. And then eventually you'd be asking yourself, wait, what was the whole fight about again? I forgot. All these response videos. It's fucking childish and stupid, dude. Like, my first instinct told me it wasn't. Oh, excuse me. My first instinct told me it really wasn't Gothic D making wands. That was my first instinct. Like, I wasn't stupid, dude. I might have been born yesterday, but I wasn't born last night. Something told me that, literally. There's more to this behind the scene than I'm noticing. You know what I'm saying? There's more to this scenario that I'm witnessing at the moment. And before you go making brass assumptions about somebody, do a little bit of research, man. Like, if you see someone attacking you on your channel, and you're just like, well, what the fuck did I do to deserve this? That's when you're just like, okay, wait a second. figure out how the whole thing started. And then once you figure out, okay, there's someone either impersonating you or the person doesn't know you, you know. And bullying, unfortunately, has become a serious problem in our society. Not just on social media, but in schools. And, you know, if we could eradicate bullying from schools completely, as it was just on social media, the world would not be perfect, but it'd be a much better place. See, my whole take on this is, why are kids bullying each other? They're all trying to go to school, get a good education, and fit in, make friends, hang out on the weekends. Why? And if you want kids to stop bullying, you need to help them relate to each other instead of, because sitting there saying, oh, we need to make kids understand that words hurt people. We've been telling them this shit for ages. Sincerely. We've been telling kids the same shit for generations. Your words have an impact on people. You should use nice words. And I don't think the issue is making kids understand that words hurt people, because they do. Kids are smart enough to know that words have an impact and that words can be destructive and hurtful. No, what you need to do is you need to make kids relate to each other, even if they don't have the exact same life. You know what I'm saying? That's the biggest thing of it. YouTube and Facebook. That is the biggest thing of it. And you can disagree with me all you want to, but that's just the way I see it. Some people might have that crazy solution of, what if we made bullying illegal in schools? What if we turned it into a federal offense? I agree/disagree with that. I do agree with it because it would make a huge difference, but I disagree with it because cops have real police work to be doing. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna hate it if they're getting called to schools all around the nation because of a he said, she said moment. So I agree with it because it would stop bullying to a degree, but I disagree with it because, you know, cops should be busy catching real criminals, not dealing with a bunch of tattletales and he said, she said, blah, blah, blah. Because unless it altercates into violence and it's just a bunch of, well, you're a this, yeah, well, your shorts are that, or your shirt looks like this, yeah, well, your shirt sucks, yeah, well, your band sucks, and, you know, it's just, you know, this shit concerns me. YouTube, it does. Because I was bullied in school. And 9 times out of 10, when I got bullied in school, the issue never got resolved. The teachers never... I had a couple of teachers that were cool about stopping it, you know what I'm saying? I had a couple of teachers growing up that were very cool about stopping the issue. But the majority of the teachers went through in my schooling days, they didn't give a shit about bullying, at least not to me, for me anyways. But when I had a kid pestering me in school, and I started bullying him back to get him to leave me the fuck alone, they're like, Mr. Saunders, you can't do that. I'm like, excuse me? Okay, so I see how this works. It's okay when people bully me, but as soon as I do it to somebody else, you know, even if it's for the right reason, is there a right reason to bully somebody? If they're a bully themselves. Uh, People think I'm a bad influence on kids just because I drink and smoke and I cuss. Look past it. Oh, this guy smokes tobacco and he cusses like a sailor and he drinks alcohol. He's a bad influence on kids. Right. And here I am encouraging kids to be nicer to one another. I mean, it's a new school year. You know what I'm saying? My best advice to those of you who have a hard time making friends in school is to, well, try to find people who share the similar interests you do. And even if they don't have similar interests, like say if you're an outcast, then you hang out with other outcasts. That's just how it goes. If you're socially awkward or considered unpopular, then you'd hang out with those who are pretty much in the same predicament you're in. And do you think your potential job in the future is going to give a shit how many nerds you stuffed into a trash can? How many autistic kids you beat up? No. They're going to look at you like, this guy's a fucking asshole. And here's the thing of it. What's going to qualify you for that job when you get out of high school is graduating. Now, yes, the majority of what the school system teaches is complete bullshit. But it's a requirement. And in fact, the majority of the school system is nothing but bullshit, but it is a requirement. It looks better on paper, especially if you walk into your potential job and be like, hey, you know, and you could drop out of school because bullying is that bad, but to a potential employer, they'll assume it's for other reasons. Why? Because you're a druggie? Because you're lazy? You know what I'm saying? And that's kind of an unfair assumption, but that's life. If people see you drop out of school, they usually assume it's for one of those reasons, not because the school district's broke, not because what's the point? You're getting bullied all the time, you know. But, even if you are getting bullied in school, don't drop out, don't commit suicide, don't pull mass shootings. Because once you get out of high school, you have your whole life ahead of you to do whatever you need to do to get your hustle on. But if we go back to the bullying on social media, a lot of people are seeing that it's out of hand on social media, so they start feeling like that. Then they're not going to do too much to address it in schools. Because they might think, okay, it's gotten out of hand on social media, there's no way we're going to be able to fix it. Just because bullying has gotten out of hand on one particular place or another or two. A case in point, if you get rejected by women all the time and you constantly see yourself as the one who'll never find anybody, eventually it starts becoming your reality. So it's all about how you perceive life. And if you perceive life in any situation, then that's just how it's going to be perceived, and that's just how it's going to happen. So instead of, if you get rejected by women, instead of seeing it as an issue, see it as a chance to laugh at them because that's their loss, not yours. You know what I'm saying? Maybe rethink your strategy a bit. Bullying as an issue can be stopped, but it's a group effort. I'm just saying.